Hello and welcome in, everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the weekly forecast for the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This could play out this week. The message may or may not be for you, so just take what resonates, leave behind the rest. I always like to talk about the astrology, and then I like to jump in with the cards. So if you haven't done so already, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, especially if you're resonating with the messages that I'm putting out there. Lets me know you like the content. It encourages me to put more out there, and it also is a nice, free, easy way to support the channel and to help it to grow. Today on Monday, we have Mercury conjunct Chiron, and we also have the new moon in Taurus taking place on Tuesday this week. We don't really have a lot of major energies playing out. We've got some energies building in the background that are going to be exact next week when it comes to the Sun conjunct Uranus and Venus sextile Saturn. But right now we're in a major energy of healing and self-discovery. So whatever surfaces, whatever arises, to be addressed in the energies this week, I feel it is a profound opportunity for healing, bottom line. Mercury conjunct Chiron, I feel, is affording the twins an opportunity to have a conversation, to communicate about the wounding, to communicate about this connection. But it does require action. So we all have free will on the journey, right? And so what I choose to do for me, maybe my counterpart doesn't really want to be a part of that, right? And so I don't get to choose what he chooses to do. He has his own free will too. And so right now I feel there's deep healing for the divine feminine when it comes to her inner wounds taking place. But there really is no way to fully embrace the healing opportunity this week without that open, honest communication. And so when we think about the retrograde, during the retrograde, we were asked to go deep. We were asked to really go into all of these conflicting energies, whatever we've kept suppressed, whatever's been buried in the past when it comes to these past life wounds or even past traumas this life. And so this really is the time to speak up. What I kept hearing was speak now or forever hold your peace. And isn't that what they say at like a wedding or a funeral maybe? I don't know. 222 on the timer, I did notice. And so speak now or forever hold your peace. And so I do feel this is an opportunity to have that heart-to-heart conversation. There is no way to overcome these limitations without actually fully addressing them. And so I feel right now the feminine needs to stop seeking outside validation. I feel the masculine is learning to reorganize his life. And right now there's a huge opportunity for the twins to accomplish reunion or union. But during this process, we do have to focus on expression and healing and communicating. And it's not always easy to communicate, right? With the new moon in Taurus, I do feel this is the perfect time to plant that seed, to reevaluate our relationships to others, our relationships to money, our relationships to the material, to possessions, and to really discover what truly brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what's truly going to bring you fulfillment, and what's going to really allow you to align to a more harmonized lifestyle. The new moon in Taurus is also aligning to Uranus, and it is harmonizing with Saturn. And so Saturn is in Pisces, and this is all about spiritual discipline. Uranus in Taurus could bring unexpected changes when it comes to your financial situation, good or bad. Uranus is asking us to progress, right? Uranus brings in this new innovative energy. So this would be the new moon to truly discover your talents, to plant that seed, to build a legacy for the future. But you really need to go in and listen to your inner needs. What is that inner calling asking you to change when it comes to these energies this week? How can you maybe innovate your life? There is also a need for patience as we go through this reevaluation because the past is coming back up. And we can't avoid the past because we can't move to the new energy until we fully deal with the residual past energies. And so this really is a week, I feel, where we can make amends. We could make really important decisions to better our lives, better our circumstances, build a solid foundation, build realistic plans for the future. And so this is the perfect new moon to set the stage for reaping the rewards of this new beginning in 6 months' time. I do want to go a little bit further into the energies because I was really tapped into the Divine Masculine Collective on the weekend, and it was a very depressing feeling of loneliness, of aloneness. And so I feel right now there's like a huge creation of self-awareness within the masculine collective, which is making them very self-critical, creating depression. I feel a lot of the masculines are in a time of great suffering. A lot of psychological growth, though, I feel is going to come from the transits this week. And so it's really important for us to not only understand ourselves and others emotionally, but we have to go into this psychological processing to really embrace solid changes, right? And you think of Taurus energy, it's fixed. It doesn't really like to change a lot, although I've always been a huge embracer of change, probably due to my 10th house in Sag. But there's a lot of integrating energies that I think are posing a challenge for a lot of the divine masculines in their emotional and their personal life right now, as they kind of are going through a very profound transformation where they are tapping into psychic abilities, heightened emotions, heightened sensitivities. And so I feel the masculine is really more receptive to the multitude of signals that the universe has kind of been throwing at him and bringing forward. And so I feel there's a lot of assertiveness in the masculine's emotions right now as everything's kind of heightened. I felt this surge of Kundalini energy rise through me, which I feel is creating almost like an initiation for the counterparts. And so there's like a conflict that I still feel needs to be faced on the masculine's end. And this could lead to impulsive actions, impulsive reactions. I think emotions are just really running high for a lot of the counterparts right now. And there was this deep sense of urgency, like, I gotta take action, I gotta take action, I gotta go right now, gotta go. And so there's something coming up from about 2 years ago. So I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember the last time I spoke to the counterpart. It was 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm going to say roughly about 2 years ago or so, there was this drive or this intense awareness. And so the masculines have been fighting against their feelings. I say raging against the machine. And now that there's this full awareness of these intense emotions that the masculine feels towards the feminine, he's going to have to learn how to like channel them constructively, right? And so courageous action is what is needed. But the masculine, I feel, is really having a hard time managing these heightened emotions effectively, is what it felt like. And so the feminine might feel the channeling of the intensity of what the counterpart is feeling. Because my life's been in the flow. I've been doing really good, and I've been nosediving out of nowhere lately with self-worth issues, self-esteem, body image issues, just the last several days. And so I just feel the feminine needs to take this energy, transmute it, challenge the channeling energy, and turn it into positive action, right? And so that's what I do. Whenever I am in that weird, funky energy, I shift it and I channel it, and then I do something productive. I turn it into positive action, right? And so we have to learn how to channel these energies constructively. And it can be very discouraging, right? When we don't have the tools to understand what's really going on. And so I do feel there's been a profound shift in the divine masculine's emotional realms. With these intense waves of sensitivity that I've been feeling out of nowhere, because I do feel a lot of heightened sensitivity, I guess. Vivid dream experiences for sure. I've been waking up with this person's energy just engulfing me the last couple of days, and I've been so tired lately. And so there's this deep exploration. I feel a lot of root pressure was coming through with the Divine Masculine Collective when it comes to the heightened sensitivity. But we can use these energies as tools for personal growth if we know how to channel them. So the masculine is in a very pivotal emotional and spiritual awakening portal. And I was sitting in the energy of Neptune, and you think of the Poseidon. Actually, I was laughing about that with my daughter. She's in Greece right now, by the way. My teenager is in Greece right now. And there was a video a while back, and I drew a blank, and I felt so silly. What did I call them? Mer people. That's what I could come up with. And I was like, oh my God. And right after the reading, I got a good laugh with my teenager. I thought I'd just share it, just to lighten it up. She's like, oh my God, Mom. I said, I know. I knew it was Poseidon, and I couldn't think about it. Drew a blank. But anyway, she's in Greece enjoying all of the Greek Orthodox Easter festivities. But I do feel there's an awakening connected to old habits. I feel any aspects of the masculine's life that are no longer in alignment with the reunion or the union of the counterparts is kind of dissipating. And so there's like a dissipation of the old energy going on this week to make room for the new energy. So the twins' paths can now diverge and develop together. And so the energies this week are going to be tough, but they're also going to be beneficial. If you are willing to let go of the past and embrace the transformative process, it can be really, really good. So let's jump in with some cards. I keep seeing my phone blowing up, messages coming through. Let's pull in with some cards. Let's start off with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck. Please feel free to go on over and check out the membership side of the program. I think last week we talked about Pluto going retrograde through the houses and how this may or may not affect you. And the only way to really know how this is going to affect you is to pull a transit chart. So if you've never had your birth chart done and you are interested in getting a birth chart, I would love to get that scheduled in for you. But a transit chart is really going to pinpoint where these energies are at, how to work with them effectively, how to alchemize the process that you're going through. You really don't know without that transit chart to really see how all of these energies are kind of playing out in your own birth chart. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's see what needs to come through for the Divine Masculine Collective to start. I think they're getting started. They're getting the party started. Okay, the Matrix and New Outlook. So we get kind of like a tower energy coming through. And then we get the Piscean energy of the Hanged Man, the New Outlook. So there's that veil of illusion being stripped. What was it? I heard something the other day, and we talk about the veil is really thin right now. Actually, the veil is always thin if we just choose to see beyond what we cannot see with our naked eye, right? And so the masculine, I feel, is going through an awakening, a perspective shift, getting a rude awakening when it comes to seeing things from a whole new perspective. And they're getting blasted out of that comfort zone when it comes to that materialistic foundation that they've created out of status, out of wealth. I don't know what's going on over there, but that false foundation is dissipating, it's crumbling. And I feel the masculine is finally ready to embrace the higher dimensions within this connection. So let's go further. Let's see what needs to come through with the Spiritual Journey Oracle cards for the Divine Masculine Collective. And then we will dig into the Divine Feminine, because I do feel a big focus on expression this week for the feminine. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's do one more round here. Messages for the Divine Masculine Collective, please. So they're in a state of all kinds of over mental stimulus, emotionally, physically exhausted. They are in the depths of a karmic lesson. They're going into the depths of this wounding. And that's what this Chiron energy is bringing in. And we get the void. So the void is like the darkness, right? It's the place of all creation. Everything is birthed in the darkness, in the void, right? Even in the womb, it's dark in there. And so the masculine, I think, is finally recognizing this karmic, challenging relationship dynamic. And they're also going through an energy, I feel, of soul recognition with you. And so there's a lot of over mental stimulus, I feel, around the Divine Masculine. They're looking at the feminine in this positive light, and they're going through all these negative, impactful lessons that they are encouraged to work through. Painful past life resolution. And so a lot of the masculines go towards soul tie during separation. And that's an opportunity for them to grow and learn, and to, because the karmic doesn't teach the masculine in the light like the feminine, right? The feminine's the one shining the light. And I feel the masculine is just sick to his stomach over this truth that's come through as he journeys to these higher states of consciousness. And the signs are everywhere. I'm hearing that song. Signs, signs everywhere, the signs. And so the masculine is definitely recognizing where he's been complacent. And I talked about complacency and fear around complacency in the daily message. You're gonna want to go and check out the daily message. And so a shift in perception. So the divine feminine, I think, is being asked to let things be as the masculine learns to release fear surrounding stepping out of that situation. They know they can't stay there. They're recognizing stagnancy. They're recognizing that. So divine feminine, nourishment, energetic cords. You are being called to be that empress. You are being called to fill your own cup first and to not give anybody your time or your energy if they are not giving back to you. So divine feminine, you are being called to just honor the journey as sacred this week. You and only you get to plant that seed this new moon. So how can you nourish your journey in the most healthy way possible? Because you are being asked to clear these energy cords, to clear the unwanted attachments, the unhealthy memories, especially when it comes to the past life wounding between you and the counterpart as well. So cut those cords, clear your aura, and nourish yourself. Fill that own cup first, divine feminine. All right, what else needs to come through for the divine feminine for the week ahead? You are at a pivot point, and I do think there is a need to protect your energy because there could be a lot of projections coming towards you this week as you fully step into your purpose. So you too are at a fork in the road, divine feminine. You are being asked to change something. So what are you being prompted to change? I know for myself, I think it's a big message of my daily lifestyle to live a healthier lifestyle, right? Mind, body, and soul. Look at that nourishment come out, heightened awareness. So you too, I think, are in this energy of feeling the counterpart's heightened emotional sensitivity at this time. And so you need to just nourish yourself, treat the journey as sacred, protect yourself. I do feel there's a lot of projection and boundaries are necessary for you at this time, divine feminine, because you are a healer, and let's face it, that light comes in and triggers a lot of people. I know it. So you are a gifted healer, and so as you fully step into the embodiment of your life purpose, your light is going to trigger a lot of people. This could also be a lesson in reevaluating your life's work as a healer. Maybe you want to explore more healing modalities. Maybe you're looking at expanding your gifts. I know I'm getting ready this retrograde to really bring it within and do some more higher study, some more coursework. I'm always learning, I'm always growing, I'm always shifting, right? And so this is the week to really set those intentions for your healing journey with your gifts when it comes to your life purpose, because you two are at a pivot point. So you too might be going through a rediscovery when it comes to this connection and your beliefs connected to the counterpart. There are layers of discovery on this journey. There are layers and layers and layers to the twin journey and to that person and to who you are, and as part of this discovery process. And so you might come into a new rediscovery of something you didn't believe before, you didn't know before, that will really allow you to journey towards fulfillment. Because ultimately, the twin comes in to teach us, divine feminine, how to deepen this relationship with ourselves. And so the divine feminine's journey is to learn her soul's language, to learn the joy and the art of self-love. And so the feminine also needs to heal her inner masculine by taking charge of her destiny and not allowing others to influence you, because I do feel there's a possibility for a reconciliation between the counterparts this week. Reconciliation also came through in the daily. So get ready for a paradigm shift. We are in a major timeline shift. And so these old ineffective beliefs, they got to go. They got to go. They got to go. So let's jump in a little bit further with the Heart's Hidden Secrets Oracle deck. We will dig into the masculine. Look at that. The masculine is longing for you. He's coming in chasing, but he's also very conflicted. I think because he almost feels like the intensity of the attraction is taboo, but there's an attraction here, and the masculine is in hot pursuit. He's craving, aching, and wanting you, and I do feel he's hot and cold because he's conflicted due to the fact of a third party interference. So let's go further. Yeah, he's longing, and look at that. Oh, I thought it was third party. It's not. There's that realization though. So the divine masculine is having an awakening during this time where his perception is basically shifting. So what needs to come through for the divine masculine for the week ahead? He's thinking about you. He's missing you. He's craving you. He's desiring you. So there's the Virgo. I always feel Virgo energy with the thoughts. We get chemistry. So he's thinking about the spark, the chemistry. I think he's watching you. He's craving you. He's desiring you. And he is definitely fantasizing about you. Wow. Wow. So we get one day, we get ecstasy, and we also get only you. And so the masculine knows he's only devoted to you. There is some type of third-party attachment, though, that is trying to get the masculine to chase some thrills and to just have a good time. But the masculine, bottom line, is craving you. Definitely going through disillusionment. And I think his judgment is cloudy because he's afraid to bring in a confession. So I do feel the masculine is coming clean with a message this week. So get ready. I do feel the masculine is remembering you being with him in another time, somewhere, in another dimension, in another lifetime. And so divine feminine, stress and heart fog. So you might be blocking your emotions, which could feel a little messed up, right? And I know I've gotten to that point too, certain points on the journey where I've stonewalled my heart and nobody can get in. And I've had other divine feminines like, hey, I can't even telepathically connect with you because I'm like firewalling that, right? And so I think the feminine might be clearing some heart fog due to the mixed signals, right? And so that's also the energy too. A lot of us will feel the energy building. We'll feel the counterpart wanting to approach, and then nothing ever happens. And so you might also be feeling the stress surrounding the counterpart. I also feel you got to watch how much you put on your plate. You might be encountering an argument this week. I just feel like you need to watch your stress levels this week, divine feminine. I feel like you got a lot of things on your plate. And so the heart fog could also be you not sure if you want this back at this point in time, right? A lot of the feminines do so much healing. When the counterpart comes back, they're not even sure if they want him, right? So let's see what needs to come through on the divine feminine side for the week ahead. Clinging. So if you are still in a state of holding on, obsessing, and spying, you need to release that because that is creating an obscurity. So I also feel a recognition of your own toxic behaviors where you need to stop obsessing, stop spying, because I know every time you go and look, you're going to create a negative attachment. Every time you go and look, you are going to create a negative attachment. Where did that card go? Oh, I don't even know where it went. But there is a need to just trust in the mystery, right? The concealment on the journey is also where we tap into the telepathy. So I feel you really need to watch the holding on, obsessive, spying, clinging energy, because that will spiral you into states of hopelessness and despair. So I do feel right now it is a week of karma, consequences, and their effect, cause and effect. There is a new beginning here. So I feel right now both of the twins are really needing to have a long, hard look in the mirror of where they're feeling stuck, where they're feeling tied down, maybe where they're feeling captive or, you know, a victim to their own negative vices as well. So there is a new beginning here. So this could mean a redo, trying again with the counterpart. This could mean a new direction and a starting over in a completely new direction, right? So that's going to be entirely up to you because the journey does allow us and afford us free will choices. So let's jump in with the tarot and let's see what needs to come through on the divine masculine side first. Messages for the masculine, and so truths unveiled, and I do feel coming clean. This is what it feels like, coming clean. I think a lot of the masculines got distorted and unbalanced in an illusion because they received a lot of poor advice. They trusted advice from the wrong people. You could be dealing with the Pisces. Your masculine could be a Pisces or dealing with Pisces. But I do feel this is the time for action. It's time to take action. It's time to plant that seed. It's time to get to work. It's time for the twins to go through this spiritual promotion, maybe build a business together, maybe start a new area of study together. And so I feel the masculine is coming in with a confession and an offer saying, hey, can we start from that ground zero? That's kind of what it feels like. So what does the masculine have for energies coming through this week? Messages for the masculine for the week ahead. Release. And so that's the death card. So the masculine is going through a major ending. There could be an emotional breakdown here with the Chariot in reverse. We get Scorpio, we get Cancer, and then we get Knight of Wands and the Emperor. And so this is a major restructurizing of the masculine's life is what it feels like. This feels really good. There is something coming to a dead stop. There is an ending for sure. And I feel by Cancer season, the masculine will be coming in with some type of recognition. So the masculine this week is releasing whoever's been holding him back, whether it's a specific person, a group of friends, an addiction, whatever it takes to find his determination. I think his whole world is getting flipped upside down, but this is where he takes immediate action. Right? And so the Knight of Wands, that's how the masculine usually comes in at the beginning of the journey. This little Knight of Wands, right? Passionate, confident, restless. And he Knight of Wands in, he Knight of Wands out, and now he's spiritually maturing. So this is a major bossing up, I feel, for the Divine Masculine Collective happening this week. So stay focused. Stay focused. The masculine is taking charge of a situation here for sure. So if you've been feeling restless, it's probably because the masculine knows he's got to come in and heal this misunderstanding with you. So Divine Feminine, it's time to let the past go. A lot of the masculines come in and there's some type of betrayal wound that gets triggered, that gets activated. And so there is a healing, a past misunderstanding. I feel the Seven of Swords at play, which would be confession. So get ready for the masculine to come in with a confession. Trust in your instincts. Let's see what needs to come through on the Divine Feminine side. We got renewal right out the gate. So there is a possibility for a reconciliation or a renewal. And it could also mean you're just ready to head in a new direction. Either way, I do feel there's clarity coming in for the Divine Feminine when it comes to her purpose and what she needs to do with her life. We get the 8 of Wands to the 9 of Wands, which is progression, communication. Then we get the Sun with the wheel reversed. I just want to say these challenging times are coming to an end. I feel it's time to come out of the dark. It's time to come out of the shadows. There is a positive change coming in here. And so there's a lot going on. And so I think get ready to receive an abundance of communication when it comes to the Mercury conjunct Chiron. This could just be an abundance of downloads too, right? 8 of Wands, downloads, 9 of Wands, Chiron. So Mercury, Chiron, Mercury, Chiron. So I think the Divine Feminine, I just want to say, you know in your heart of hearts what you need to do. There is a cycle here reaching completion. The Divine Feminine is a wounded healer. And so I think the clarity is coming. I think the judgment call is you. You get to decide, is this what you want for a happy family or not? But the angels are affording the Divine Feminine an opportunity to choose. You can choose a new direction. You can choose a new direction, or you can choose the missed opportunity. But there is a need to just get rigorously honest about which direction it is you want to go in, because I do feel no matter where you're going, it's going to be communicated honestly and openly. And so I feel a very forthright, honest conversation is coming, maybe after a couple of years of wishy-washiness. So maybe your counterpart, maybe it's a same-sex couple, doesn't have to be. There's 2 men on the card, could be same-sex couple, doesn't have to be. But there's clear communication. So somebody here is holding the sword of truth, but they're not talking. And this could lead to a lot of abundance, but you got to follow the path. You got to go where there is growth. You got to go where there is communication. So I do feel this week is bringing in the opportunity to plant a seed, to sign a lucrative new soul contract, maybe even purchase a home. This could mean coming into an abundance of money, a windfall even. But I feel this is like an exciting new path is being presented, but you have to take those steps. You have to take those guided steps. And so abundance is here for the taking, but you got to plan, you got to take action, and you got to think about long term. You get to decide what's next. Absolutely. So what else do we need to know for the twins when it comes to the energies for the week ahead? There could be business travel. I think there's rapid changes. I feel divine feminine. Give gratitude to the divine. Yeah. What's that last message? Yeah. Righting past wrongs. The masculine is very much struggling, I feel, in the headspace when it comes to taking immediate action, going back to pay off some karmic debt, struggling with leaving you behind too. I also feel struggling with moving on from that karmic situation. So there's a lot of pain here. There's a lot of sadness coming through, I feel, in the energies this week when it comes to healing. So get ready for that. But let's close off the message for the twins with a past life lesson message. Lover, sense of lack. So there it is, guys. We get the lover. And that's the masculine is involved in a relationship where he has hidden you on his heart. He's remained loyal to you and hidden you on the heart. And this has created a deep sense of lack for a lot of the masculines, I feel. And so we all have this lesson to understand. We all have the power to attract what we need in our lives. The law of attraction is not woo-woo, okay? It is all about vibration and attraction. And so the universe will always reward your efforts, but you have to decide what you want and you have to go after that light. So if you're sitting in a sense of lack, or if you're feeling that as well, divine feminine, your counterpart is probably bottoming out, because I know that's what made me spiral. And so the universe is bringing in a reward. I do feel too, a lot of the divine feminines remain loyal and single for many years, loyal to a connection where the man isn't taking charge of anything and is in a separate relationship. And so that might be the reality check for you too, divine feminine. Maybe feeling like you've wasted a lot of time here waiting patiently. But let's get a closing message for the twins for the week ahead. Past lives and lessons message. This deck was created by Lightworker Tarot and Oracle. It is a channel on YouTube. Love her decks, so go check her out. I'm pretty sure she still has an Etsy shop. And let's see what the closing message is. Pride and ego on the bottom of the deck. Victim. Oh, look at that. Traveler and twin soul. So if that doesn't confirm it, I don't know what does. We get the twin soul energy. So pride and ego is definitely a challenge. So I feel the masculine is really struggling with his ego and understanding that his current circumstances is exactly what he created, is exactly what he attracted to learn a certain lesson this lifetime. Different from the divine feminine's lesson. We have our own lessons, right? I do feel this is a strong message for the divine feminine. Laziness. Keep a healthy mind and body. The divine feminine still needs to stay active, all while living with purpose. That was a big message, I think, for me too. And so right now we're in a portal of transcending these negative past life experiences so we can reshape and redefine our future so we are no longer limiting ourselves. And so get ready for, I feel, astral travel with the traveler. But the masculine is getting ready to come in, I think, and travel towards you. He's getting ready to venture towards you where he's only dreamed of going before. And so the twins are very cultured, right? We're very cultured. And so we are here to teach others how to take their power back as well. So you are only a victim if you allow yourself to be a victim of your circumstances, right? We all can fall into victim mode. We all can bottom out at certain points in time, and I think there's certain life lessons that you cannot learn until you lose it all. A lot of us on the journey have to kind of lose it all in order to have this moment of enlightenment or this epiphany or this awakening of the 3D matrix to move beyond it. But I do feel a major recognition of the twin soul, of the counterpart, of why we incarnated together this lifetime. And ultimately it is to raise not only the vibration of Mother Earth, but to raise the collective consciousness. And so we're here to take our power back. So get ready to embrace the wounding. You get to decide. You are the author of your story. So take back your power. You are not being punished. I know that's what it feels like sometimes. And so we are not being punished. It might feel like that. The masculine might also be going through some public ridicule on social media. But either way, past wrongs are being made right. And so a lot of us, our calling is to reverse the ravaging effects on humankind and to help raise the collective consciousness. So right back to the lever. So the masculine is in a relationship where he's hidden you on his heart and he's just looking at you as this earth angel, right? And so you're probably the only energy presence around the masculine that gives him comforting while he's in this toxic relationship. And so there is a void. Bottom line is nothing outside of you will ever give you fulfillment, counterpart or not. And so when we're digging deep to figure out why we're filling a void, we need to figure that out. That is what the healing journey is all about. So we stop feeling void. So we stop feeling like something is missing. So we can release any resentment and bitterness and really get to a place of forgiveness, because that is really the most powerful, liberating energy we can embody is forgiveness. And that's what I have, guys. That's what I have for the week ahead. So I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book in a reading with me, check out the description box below. Now is the time to do it, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.